Hello, Dr. Beenal.
Yeah, hello.
Welcome.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, good afternoon, Arun sir.
बहुत बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है आप सब लोगों को साथ मिलके आज.
Yeah.
It's very nice of you all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we have still time? Then I'll change. Actually, directly from the OT. So
अच्छा अच्छा. तो नहीं अभी
we'll start because it's already 3. So that is
it's
why.
already 3. We have gone live, and people will be joining slowly. Maybe in 5 minutes, I
Okay.
think we will. Nupur will probably start the formalities, and then we will have to start because going by the time, I think we will.
Yeah, we can wait for 5 minutes. We have 12 attendees as of now.
Dr. Alpesh sir has not joined yet. Dr. Alpesh and Dr. Jaideep.
Dr. Jaideep
has joined.
Okay.
Dr. Sneha Boer has also joined. Welcome, ma'am. So we have around 22 attendees as of now.
Unfortunately, another program is going on. Quite a few would have joined. It is going to last till 6:30.
Okay.
So quite a few obstetricians I know who would have allowed to join, but it's National Quality Care Network is doing. I just was chief guest for that program. So I know quite nearly 300 people are there, 300 obstetricians.
Okay.
So I know because of this program, I know it. Nothing is, it's all now. We have to work together, no problems. But we'll try to pass on by word of mouth now.
Thank you. Dr. Arun, if you can check with Dr. Alpesh, maybe? Yeah, he's still to join.
Okay, I'll give him a call.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Beenal ma'am.
आज ओपीडी में जरा ज्यादा लोग दिख रहे थे पेशेंट ओपीडी में सैटरडे हमें दिख रहा है नॉर्मली सैटरडे के हिसाब से
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, hello, dear all. Arun sir, Jaideep sir, are you listening?
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, Alpesh sir, I just had a word with him. He is busy with some emergency.
Okay.
So he will not be able to join us, but then he has definitely conveyed his best wishes that Foxy is with BPNI in this initiative.
Okay.
And he has requested Jaideep sir and Sneha ma'am to, be there. And even I am there on behalf of Foxy. So
Okay.
I think we can continue with the webinar. We can start.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. Shall we start, sir?
Yeah, I think so. You can start. So slowly people will join.
People will catch up. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for this webinar jointly organized by Foxy and BPNI for obstetricians, a boon for pregnant women, helping to make a decision about feeding of their babies. And I will quickly run you through to today's program. So as the guest of honor, we have Dr. Jaideep Tank, Secretary General Foxy, with us. And then we are going to discuss about why it is critical to discuss about feeding of babies during pregnancy. And we have a panel of Dr. Beenal Shah, who's an obstetrician from Vadodara with more than 20 years of experience. We have Miss Jinsi Verghese, who's going to share her experience of a mother. And then we are going to launch our program, I Decide. And Dr. Arun Gupta, MD and Director, I Decide, is going to make a presentation about I Decide and how it works, and is going to do the demonstration. And then we have the countrywide expansion plan for I Decide by Dr. Rita Gupta, who's the program coordinator for I Decide, and which would be followed by question and answers coordinated by the moderator. And then we have closing remarks by Dr. Sneha Buhar, Chair Breast Committee Foxy. And then there'll be concluding remarks by the chairperson, Dr. S. Chabra and Dr. S. N. Basu. To begin with, I would like to welcome you all and thank you all for joining us for this cause. And I'm going to share two videos about the introduction of a new initiative called I Decide. I'm going to share my screen and show those videos to you first to begin with. I hope you all can see my screen now.
Yes.
I hope everyone can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Yes. Okay. So the initiative that we are going to launch and Dr. Ranu is going to present about it and demonstrate it to you. I'm going to share the introduction video about it.
Nupur, I can't hear. Nupur, we can't hear anything, I think. Can everybody hear?
No.
Can't hear anything.
Okay, just a second. Maybe my headphones were on. I'll share it again.
Have you recently found out the good news?
Can you hear it now?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you going through different sources, trying to decide the best possible ways to raise your baby? Have you thought about how to feed your child? This is the time to decide, because now you'll get to decide with I Decide. With only a one-time registration fee of Rs 199, I Decide becomes your all-in-one partner through pregnancy, helping you access all the information that you can trust and understand everything about feeding your child. I Decide makes sure that you get all the information you need to decide what is the best feeding option for your newborn baby. And just not this, I Decide helps you communicate the decision to your doctor and hospital team in case you need expert consultation to decide. You can get it from lactation experts on I Decide so that they are able to support you. When it comes to the most important person in your life, you can proudly say, I decide.
We never say it out loud, but being a mother is scary. Eat this, not that. Why you are doing this, not that. So many opinions, so many suggestions. We all want best for them. But who gets to decide what is best for our child? Well, for my baby, I decide. This new portal by BPNI keeps me informed and up to date with everything that I need to know about feeding my baby. When to start feeding, how to hold my baby, and so much more. All the information at one place to know how to feed my child. And when I know the correct scientific information, then I have the power to make the best decision for my child. Because for my baby, I decide.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. I hope you were able to see it and get an idea what I Decide is all about. To begin with, I would like to introduce our chairperson for this webinar, Dr. S. Chhabra and Dr. S.N. Basu. Dr. Shakuntala Chhabra is a emeritus professor of Obs and Gynae, an officer on special duty with Dr. Sushila Nair Hospital, Maharashtra. She is the chief executive officer for Akanksha Shishu Graha and is also affiliated to Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Medical Sciences, Sevagram. Dr. Sushila Nair Hospital, Utavali, Melghat, Amravati, and Kasturba Health Society, Sevagram, Wardha, Maharashtra. And Dr. S.N. Basu is the Senior Director and HOD, Department of Obs and Gynae, Max Super Speciality Hospital, Shalimar Bagh, Delhi. Dr. Basu is the National Representative of International Association for Communication in Healthcare. She is also the National Convener for Development and Implementation of Curriculum of Communication in Healthcare, National Board of Examination. She has special interest in fertility, endoscopy surgery, quality management system, and communication in healthcare. Over to both the chairs now.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Good afternoon, everybody. And at the outset, I would like to congratulate, compliment Arunji and everyone. I can't use Dr. Arun Gupta because I don't know whether he has forgotten, but I distinctly remember he becoming Sabzi Wali for breastfeeding promotion. Do you remember with Dr. Anand and Dr. Kumta?
Yes.
Yes. So for me, that incidence, that December event is still in my memory. So I'm very happy because I feel very sad because I've been to various institutions for various reasons, be it emergency obstetric care, site selection, training, or a NAC assessor for talk or something. And such a scenario that we struggle so much for exclusive, immediate, exclusive breastfeeding and complementary feeding, breastfeeding, our initial of recognition of breastfeeding friendly hospitals, recognition certificates, and all those things. And now things were changing. So probably this is the right time that we again go back to the right place and do so. I'm very happy that this initiative has been taken. And because it is very important that during pregnancy, obstetricians and the woman and the family, I will say family, because mother-in-law, they also play a very important role. So it is the woman, the husband, mother-in-law and mother, and the friends who discourage, encourage. So everybody should be encouraged when the mother is pregnant. So it's a very good initiative taken. All my best wishes. And the day I came to know, I have started by word of mouth to my residents. And you know, Mahatma Gandhi Institute has, this Sevagram has students, UGs and PGs from all over the country. So that word of mouth has already started maybe some weeks back. So these girls are going to sure become leading obstetricians in their areas, and they are going to definitely tell their patients. So that's because a big sector of obstetric care is by private. All of us know that. So that's it. And I work in rural areas, and I will try how to change this for rural women also. Thank you very much and all my best wishes.
Dr. S.N. Basu.
Good afternoon, everybody. And I must congratulate Dr. Arun Gupta and Mrs. Gupta for, starting this initiative. Dr. Arun Gupta, I still remember we go back a long, long way. And it was, in the early 90s or late 80s, probably you had already started this initiative. And we started, BP and I, we joined together. And the first talk, in fact, one of the AICOG conferences for me was how to promote breastfeeding and antenatal counseling of patients. That was way back in 1993. And I think with the digital world, this message must go across. You have continued, you have persevered, and I must really admire that perseverance. Really, Dr. Gupta and all of you, your entire team of BPNI, you've had so many issues. In fact, Jaipur Golden was probably, at that time, I was in Jaipur Golden Hospital in Delhi. And that was probably the first hospital which was known as the baby-friendly hospital, where breastfeeding was implemented as a policy.
Yeah.
All mothers and we removed all the advertisements from Nestle and all those things were removed from the hospital premises. And it was says nobody would talk about any artificial form of feeding. So I think I must congratulate, we have reached this far and the message must go across. And I believe you, it can, I have been carrying on and none of my patients, I don't allow them to, even buy a bottle or talk about a bottle because I continue to tell them. So all my staff and everybody knows that it's breastfeeding and breastfeeding and breastfeeding. In fact, the rural women, they took on, the artificial feeding partly because they were going out to work. And also, it had developed a sort of a snob value that well-to-do people breastfeed, bottle feed. And, the others, breastfeeding is for the lowly people who don't have facilities. But I think it has come a full circle and we must keep on persevering with every generation. So congratulations. And I really look forward to the session and further interactions with all of you. Right? Dr. Shakuntala and Mr. Jinsi, Dr. Kesavalu, Dr. Sneha Bhoyar, and I think Dr. Alpesh, and I don't know whether Dr. Jaideep has joined in or not.
But he's there with us, ma'am. Yeah, he's there with us.
Jaideep, how are you? Hello. So I think we take it forward and we work collectively to achieve a goal.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. Dr. Alpesh Gandhi, due to some unavoidable reason, has not been able to join us, but he has given his blessings to this program. And we have as a guest of honor, Dr. Jaideep Tang, Secretary General FOGSI. Sir, open to you for your remarks.
Thank you very much, Nupur. Although I am the guest of honor, I must say that in this particular instance, the honor actually is all mine. There is, a bit of a backstory, if I may say so, to FOGSI's relationship with breastfeeding, and I will get right to it in a minute after thanking BPNI, led by Dr. Gupta, Madam Gupta, who have worked so hard and so long really to promote the cause of breastfeeding and bring so much awareness about breastfeeding to not only physicians, but also to the community at large. It is always a pleasure to see Binal and Sneha representing FOGSI at this forum. And I must thank Binal for putting this whole thing together for FOGSI along with Sneha. Sneha is our chair of the breastfeeding committee. And I must say that she has really taken that committee to very excellent new heights. And I can tell you that there is a lot more awareness in FOGSI about breastfeeding than there was before Sneha took over. It's always such a pleasure to see Dr. Chabra Madam and Dr. Basu Madam. Thank you very much, madams, for your inputs and your advices. And of course, you are the chairpersons of this session. It's also, I'm also thankful to Mrs. Jinsi Verghese, who's going to bring about, I think, the point of view, if I may say so, of the community in this instance, whom we are trying to reach out to with this initiative. And I do look forward to that presentation. As I said, there is a bit of a backstory to Foxy's involvement with breastfeeding, because the first time that Foxy had an annual theme ever, the theme was in fact breastfeeding. And we said that breastfeeding is the best, and we continue to maintain the fact that breastfeeding is in fact the best possible thing that a mother could do to provide for her child's nutrition and well-being, not only in the short term, but also in the long term. And it has always surprised me really that what is supposedly a very natural act, is actually a very complex interplay, if I may say so, of the entire ecosystem, starting from it being an emotive kind of an issue with all the maa ka doodh and doodh ka qarz and maa ka laal and all those kind of things happening in our Bollywood and all other kinds of movies, to the fact that women in the puerperium who have just delivered are actually extraordinarily sensitive. They are vulnerable, and really speaking, they need the entire health ecosystem to support them to make sure that they are able to successfully breastfeed their infants. And I think one of the best ways where the ecosystem can support them is by information, which is what the I Decide app is going to impart to mothers as a whole. Foxy has always believed in the power of partnerships. We believe partnerships are extraordinarily valuable as force multipliers to bring about synergies and make sure that we can reach out to many more people besides providers simply. And we have had a long-standing partnership with BPNI. Dr. Arun Gupta, when he spoke to me, he was reminding me that my father, Dr. D.K. Tanka, past president of Foxy, was actually a part of BPNI at one time. So that was a very warm memory. Thank you very much, Dr. Gupta. And we certainly look forward to carrying this partnership with you, and more importantly, ensuring that more and more infant and children receive the benefits of exclusive breastfeeding. So thank you very much for having us here. Foxy is always there to promote such very important issues, and we look forward to working with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your guidance and kind words. And now we're going to begin with our session on why it is critical to discuss about feeding of babies during pregnancy, an obstetrician and a mother's perspective. To begin with, we'll begin with Dr. Beenal Shah, obstetrician from Vadodara, Gujarat. Okay, so Dr. Beenal Shah is the Foxy representative from Vadodara, Gujarat, and she's the MD Obs and Gynae and a gold medalist associated with Dwarkesh Hospital, Baroda, with more than 20 years of experience. She has several awards and accolades to her credit for her work. Over to you, ma'am. We can't hear you, ma'am. You're muted.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me know once my slides are seen.
Okay. Yes, we can see it.
Can you see the full screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Very good afternoon to all of you. And it's real pleasure to, see a dream being conceptualized, implemented, and something which, we can really do very well synergistically. So good afternoon, Dr. Arun Gupta, sir, Dr. Tak, sir. And you really said well that, we believe in connecting, collaborating, and sharing the responsibility jointly. So looking forward to a very synergistic relation of Foxy along with BPNI in this very, very basic necessity of human life. So let me discuss that why is it critical to discuss about feeding babies during pregnancy? Because we obstetricians are already very busy managing complicated pregnancies. So why we should be bothered about feeding, which is to be done postnatally? Isn't it a pediatrician's job? So I would like to, give a reminder to all the obstetricians who are here today with us that well begin is half done and the right time to begin is well in advance. So this is how today's woman is. Basically by instinct, she definitely is a mother. But at the same time, she's handling so many responsibilities at the same time. Right? So being a homemaker, juggling between the grocery shopping, the cooking, the household work, nurturing the babies, her own studies, her own career. So she has many tasks at hand. And often we see that these females are in a nuclear family. So they have their career challenges and they often lack support. So something is very rightly said by Tak sir that we mammals, like for us, lactation is a very normal physiology. It is the basic instinct of a female to breastfeed and of a child to accept the breastfeed, right? But still we are discussing this because somewhere in the downline, you know, this has been put behind the curtains. And as madam said that probably the snobbish people feel that, you know, to breastfeed is something which is very mediocre or something. But actually what needs to be told to one and all that child nutrition and nurturing is of paramount importance. And as all of us know that often there is at the early onset of adult diseases, it happens in childhood because of lack or improper feeding of the children. We can, by breastfeeding, we can save millions of neonates and infants and reduce the morbidity and mortality of the neonates. And at the same time, indirectly, we can reduce the maternal mortality also, because if they have healthy children, they will not go for any further children. So neonatal mortality and maternal mortality are interconnected. So as I told that because of the nuclear family, because of the career challenges and lack of support, somewhere, you know, down the line, breastfeeding has taken a backseat. And that is why we want to re-emphasize the importance of exclusive and early breastfeeding. And very importantly, you know, myths start creeping in. When there are a lot of people talking about the same thing with different education and different experience level, the myths creep in. That whether breastfeeding will change the shape of my breast, or, you know, whether during breastfeeding, what is the food which I should eat. So there is a lot of confusion. You know, the pregnant mother is really confused. She's insecure that, you know, she is not feeling confident about how she'll take care of the baby. So let's all of us join together our hands and take her from confusion to clarity. And this is what the theme of the I Decide app is, right? To take her from confusion to clarity about feeding the baby. Right? Now, I really enjoyed, and that was my first interaction with Dr. Arun sir when I spoke about the baby-friendly hospital initiatives. So most of the obstetricians are aware about this initiative, which was launched in 1992 globally. And hospitals become baby-friendly by implementing, right? So it's not only a matter of a certificate, which is, you know, hanging in your corridor, but you have to implement early, exclusive and successful breastfeeding. And the hospitals need to comply with the International Code of Marketing of Breast Milk Substitutes. So what are the 10 steps to a successful baby-friendly hospital initiative? Let's go through it. First and foremost is to comply with the International Code of Marketing of the substitutes. So as madam said that we removed the Nestle ads and all those. Then there has to be a written infant feeding policy, which is collected by the staff and the parents, and to establish breastfeeding. Now, very important thing is that your staff, because often the doctor herself or himself will be busy in delivering or operating or the outpatient. So the staff has to have sufficient knowledge, competence, and support the breastfeeding. So we discussed with Arun sir that probably we'll be going forward with this lactational counselor course and training of the nursing staff, because, you know, just talking on paper doesn't make sense. We need to implement it practically. Now, here comes the importance of the obstetrician, that we want to discuss the importance and management of breastfeeding with the mother in the antenatal period. The counseling has to start well in advance. The preparedness has to be there about the breastfeeding, the correct techniques, because often, you know, in the delivery, the pain, the anxiety and all, these things, if they are learned well in advance, they would really come off very handy. Then correction of the inverted nipples. So we make it a mandatory protocol that in the beginning of the 9th month or probably the end of the 8th month onwards, we check the nipples. If they are inverted, the correction starts. If the skin is dry, we start nipple creams, and also the nipples are prepared and be ready for the breastfeeding. And family should also know that they have to support the lactating mother. So it's actually a family decision and not only the mother's decision. So here the importance of obstetrician is very vital. So they need to start the counseling in the antenatal period. And the iDecide app will come very handy, because nowadays a lot of patients are very techno savvy. They are well educated. So with just a single touch of an app and with a very nominal charge, they will be given guidance in a video format of all the modules of, how to hold the baby, the correct technique, what should be, the food during the breastfeeding. So a lot of information she's getting there. Now, again, the role of obstetrician comes here. That is the fourth point of baby-friendly hospital, that you have to facilitate immediate and uninterrupted skin-to-skin contact. So immediately after delivery, the baby is put on the mom's chest and you have to initiate the breastfeeding as soon as possible. If the baby requires some resuscitation, so once the baby is stable, the baby can be taken to breastfeeding. So mainly, this golden hour is not to be missed. And this golden hour, like the obstetricians are responsible to initiate the early breastfeeding, and the nursing staff needs to be trained accordingly. We are aware about the breast crawl and the kangaroo mother care, especially for the preemies and the low birth weight. Plus, whenever the patient is under us in the postnatal ward, we need to support the mothers. Often, they may be in pain because of the episiotomy or the cesarean. So try and, make them more comfortable, manage the postpartum ailments so that at least she can focus on the breastfeeding. And if she has certain issues like retracted nipples or cracked nipples or inadequate lactation, kind of counsel her and, inbuild her confidence. And in case she has engorgement, we need to relieve it. So this is how in the postnatal period, if we help her to maintain and manage the difficulties, it will go a long way in exclusive breastfeeding. And especially when discharge is going to happen at that time, again, we need to re-emphasize about exclusive breastfeeding for at least 6 months minimum. And there are a lot of myths about colostrum, being some infection or some chache or some improper milk. So this needs to be demystified, that actually the colostrum is the elixir of life and the best form of nutrition. And, probably it is the first vaccine of the child. So we cannot deny the child its first immunity booster, right? So these are the other steps of the baby-friendly hospital, that rooming in is to be there. The mother and the baby are to be in the same cot. So actually we have removed all the palnas from the, like previously the maternity hospitals used to have a bed and a, cradle. So the cradles have been removed, and now we always practice the baby besides the mother, and the rooming in is there. And we need to support the mother and the family each and every time, right? So counseling, explaining them, and also if mandatory, we may give some supplement food or katori spoon if there is some problem, but at least they should be aware about the risk of bottle feeding and the pacifiers, right? And as I said, that at the time of discharge also, the ongoing support and mainly the encouragement has to be there. And if mother's milk is not available, human milk bank is a very great initiative. So other mother's milk can be given to the babies. Now, the key recommendations which we need to do in the antenatal period are that counseling about the healthy eating, about especially the energy and the protein intake of the mother's diet, especially the iron folic supplements, which need to be continued, because often, people are under the concept that once the delivery is over, the supplements need to be stopped. But no, even after delivery, mother baby are a single unit. The only thing is the cord is not there, but the breast is there. Right? So the nutrition nourishment of the baby is via the mother only. So mother needs to continue taking the supplement to prevent maternal anemia for whatever the blood loss had happened. And so that her energy levels and recovery are fine. And also the baby gets calcium from the mother's milk. So mother needs to continue calcium, or else her bones will be deficient and she will have long-term backache and, bones will be osteoporotic. So iron folic minimum for 3 months, calcium I recommend at least for 6 months is better, but minimum is for 3 months again. And vitamin A, iodine, salt, all these things may be important. So mainly the high protein supplements and micronutrients are important. As we have already discussed, the colostrum is a very beneficial. It has a lot of growth factors and immunity booster it is. More antibodies it has, an anti-infective factor it is. So we need to, re-emphasize the importance and the benefits of breastfeeding to the baby. Probably about the baby everybody knows, but about the mother as well, You try and explain her that it is going to benefit you also. about regarding the post-delivery bleeding and anemia. It has protective effect against the breast cancer. So probably the mother will be more and more convinced about breastfeeding. Try to boost her confidence for that. So these are again the reminders for the early exclusive breastfeeding. And also try to address the problem, if suppose she is a second gravida. So in case she had some previous breastfeeding difficulties, so try to see what difficulty was, like whether it was something to do with the nipple or the technique, and try to, clarify that doubt in her. Sometimes the breast milk may be sufficient, but the mother perceives it as insufficient. So try to correct her confusion. And often the latchment is wrong. So there may be certain factors which are, incorrectly dealt with, and that is the reason for the problems with breastfeeding. So try to tackle each problem. These are the highlights of the Indian Milk Substitute Act, which we were discussing. This act says that you are not supposed to promote any infant food as a substitute to the baby, and you have to always promote that the mother's milk is the best, right? So only in case of like emergency, we are going to use the substitute. Otherwise, the mother's milk is the best. So my dear obstetricians, let us all become breastfeeding champions by strongly promoting breastfeeding as the safest, healthiest, and most nourishing method to feed the babies. At the same time, try to promote this app because it makes your life easy. In your busy practice, if you just recommend the mother to download this app and go through the modules, she'll be very much clear. Then only your task will be that if she has confusion, you can clarify. Otherwise, most of the facts and about the breastfeeding will be cleared, and all the myths will be demystified, right? So these are one of the examples of many initiatives which FOGSI has taken. This is a picture from the last year's FOGSI Breastfeeding Week celebration. I'm happy that Sneha Madam, the chairperson of FOGSI Breast Committee, is with us today. So she'll be giving us much more insight into the FOGSI programs. But FOGSI has always been proactive. So this is an organ outside the pelvis, which we are very much concerned because a female's reproductive system is incomplete without the breast. So breastfeeding, the elixir of life, and there were week-long celebrations last year, and every year we do it. And it's not only for the 1 week, but 365 days of the year, we are committed to promote breastfeeding. So Pan India, we are committed to have awareness talks and articles and the community connect programs. Slogan and poster competition was there last time. Awareness is also spread by the iMoms app, and as I said, that it is headed by Dr. Sneha ma'am. So she's here on the panel today, and we'll get more insight from us. So I would like to end by saying that ensuring maternal nutrition and successful breastfeeding is not the sole responsibility of the mother. It is a societal responsibility, and it is the responsibility of the obstetrician to begin the counseling in the antenatal period well in advance. So again, well begun is half done. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much indeed, Dr. Beenal. That was an excellent, and a very lucid talk about, how to go about an antenatal preparation of breastfeeding. Very well spoken. I think Ms. Nupur?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Next is Ms. Jinsi Verghese. I'm going to introduce her. Okay, should I, ma'am?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Would you like me to do it?
Oh, you can, yeah, of course, if you want to.
No, it's...
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So we have Miss Jinsi Verghese with us, and she's a mother from Mumbai, and she's a mother of a 4-year-old. And since her pregnancy and childbirth, she has learned firsthand how needlessly difficult this journey can be without support and access to information. Since then, she has taken it upon herself to educate herself and many other parents, especially mothers around her. She hoped to make a difference in the lives of children and parents around her. Jinsi, over to you.
Thank you. Thanks, Nupur, for that introduction. Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Jinsi, and I'm from Bombay. And I was just listening to Dr. Beenal speak about baby-friendly hospitals and the 10 initiatives, etc. And when I look back at my own experience during my pregnancy and childbirth, I would say I got none of it. I didn't have baby was not kept on the breast. My baby was not fed in the first hour. In fact, we were separated because I had gestational diabetes during the 6th month of my pregnancy, and I had to undergo C-section. And all of these reasons, I couldn't feed my baby. And I didn't know, honestly, I didn't know that breastfeeding is, though natural, is a difficult or not a very easy thing, like how Dr. Jaideep also mentioned. Thanks to all the movies, etc., that we have seen, I thought the baby is out of the womb and you keep the baby on the breast and breastfeeding starts. It was only after I gave birth that I realized that it can be very challenging. And what I remember right now is throughout my 9 months of pregnancy, my doctor never mentioned anything about breastfeeding. There was not a physical examination, breast examination to see if my body can breastfeed and is ready, etc. I was not told how difficult it is. Especially if it is in a case of C-section, how that the milk will be delayed. I didn't know what colostrum is. So the first time when I saw colostrum, I was like, oh my God, milk is supposed to be white. What is this yellow thing? And why is it so little? And I really didn't know the importance of colostrum at all. So much that I thought, what difference does this 1 drop make, 2 drops make? Why am I taking so much effort to, hand express or pump or etc.? And given all of that condition and, I remember I was sitting there on the hospital bed and crying because I thought I'm the only mother in this entire world who is not able to breastfeed her child. And that was so depressing and very, very sad because, I had never, like Dr. Beenal mentioned, all of us are in nuclear families. We don't see anyone, in our circle breastfeeding, even our extended family, etc. We are all sitting in our own homes. We don't know how this journey is all about. So I really felt all alone. I thought I was the only mother in the world who couldn't breastfeed. And, I thought I was failing in my motherhood duties. And I in fact remember that me telling the nurses, feed my baby formula, because I'm not able to breastfeed and my milk is not enough. It was only after I got discharged from the hospital and when I connected with other mothers in the form of communities and in the form of support systems around me that I realized that this is something that every mother goes through. Like out of hundreds, 100 of mothers who give birth, 99 mothers go through such a difficult time. And the only question I had in mind is, if these things are so common, if these things happen to everyone, why was I not educated? Why did my gynecologist prepare me for this challenging journey? And in spite of me being educated and having access to information, I never read about breastfeeding. During my pregnancy, all I used to read about was what to expect in the first month, 2nd month, 3rd month, and so on. But what happens after the baby is born, how to breastfeed, what are the different positions, that, how to hand express, how to pump, or, that these are some challenges that you will face, latching, etc., nothing. I didn't know anything. It was something that I learned by myself with the help of a community and people around me, but which happened much later. So I really feel the onus as much on pediatricians, it is much more on gynecologists, because you spend 9 months with us. Out of that 9 months, we visit you at least 9 times. And in that 9 times, if you can even talk to us for 2 minutes on breastfeeding, that first of all, emphasize how important it is. And along with the importance, please prepare us for the challenges. We are all in a generation which loves Maggi noodles, and we think everything is ready in 2 minutes, but that does not happen. So nothing works in 2 minutes. If the mother is sufficiently educated and told, these are the challenges you're going to face, there will be, your supply will not start immediately after birth. Believe me, I really thought like how taps work in a house, you switch on the tap and water starts flowing. I thought breastfeeding happens like that. It was only when I saw, oh my God, I'm getting 1 drop, and why should I feed this 1 drop? Isse kya hoga? How is this going to be beneficial? So if you can tell us that colostrum will be yellow, it will be very little, but that will be sufficient for the baby, you will only motivate and help the mother. And to all, to everyone, I know this is a panel for doctors, but if there are parents, or one message that I want to tell parents is, it may not have started on a good note for you, but it gets better. It really, really gets better. I had engorgement. I had initially very low supply, etc. But it got better for me because I realized and I was able to take informed decision. And I proudly say that my son turned 4 years last month, and he will almost 4 years, 1 month, in a few days, he will turn 4 years, 1 month old, and I'm still breastfeeding him. None of the challenges that I had, and I really had a lot. I mean, I really thought I would never be able to breastfeed my son, but I was able to overcome all those challenges. And if I can, you can too, with the right education and with the right support, especially from the doctor fraternity. So yeah, and I didn't have to buy formula at all after getting discharged from hospital. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jinsi, for sharing your experience with us. Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, please.
And it's so wonderful to talk a woman telling, see, today morning, I have a patient with fulminating preeclampsia. She had a seizure yesterday, and her mother, she said, there's no milk. I myself saw, and her mother showed me a katori with a drop of cholesterol. I said, this is what she needs, the baby needs. So the baby is with NICU, but I said, you have to supply this 1 drop also. So this is, and I'm so glad that the end user has brought this issue that obstetricians don't talk, and all of us should really be taught by the women, I should say now, that they tell us that what we should be doing. Believe me, when I used to teach my undergraduate students, this antenatal care, this used to be really part of that, must see that the nipples are okay, because they are worried, they are abnormal. There's nothing like abnormal. It may be short, it may be little long. Yes, sometimes there is really the inversion that needs therapy. Otherwise, most of the times it is a little different. It's variations, that's all. So you have to encourage women to breastfeed, and I'm very glad that you people thought of bringing an end user also. And she really talked of her real experiences. Well done. So we can move further, Nupur. You can have the other speaker. Thank you so much, dear. Jay.
Okay. Okay, so the next session is about iDecide platform and how it works and how it helps mothers to decide about feeding their babies and would-be fathers as well. It is going to be presented by Dr. Arun Gupta, Director, iDecide. Okay, let me introduce Dr. Arun. So Dr. Arun is the director for iDecide, a BPNI initiative, and he's a pediatrician, a fellow Indian Academy of Pediatrics, who chose to give up his lucrative practice, private practice, and founded the Breastfeeding Promotion Network of India in 1991. He focuses on policy analysis regarding support of breastfeeding women, child nutrition, and conflict of interest issues. He writes nationally and internationally. He is the creator of IFFAN, International Baby Food Action Network's World Breastfeeding Trends Initiative. He is the convener of the Alliance Against Conflict of Interest, AKI, and a think tank, Nutrition Advocacy and Public Interest in India, for policy level inputs. Over to you, sir. Yes, we can see your screen. But we can't hear you, sir. Maybe you're muted.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, very much. Yeah.
All right, and then this webinar, let me once personally thank our worthy chairpersons, whom I have known for more than three decades now, associated in the founding of BPNI, Dr. Shakuntala Chavda and Dr. S.N. Basu. Our journey started together, and
Sevagram.
Yes.
You must say Gandhiji's ashram.
Yes.
This is the only program, Arunji, where inauguration and beginning were in the institution, but the whole program was conducted in Yatri Nivas of Sevagram ashram of Gandhiji.
Exactly. So, you know, these memories, further help us to grow our energies. And with Dr. Basu, we joined together in the Jaipur Golden Hospital in north of Delhi. It became a baby-friendly hospital very early when it was launched. So we together worked very hard at that time to change things, and it worked. So I had to leave the hospital because of the breastfeeding work. But after that, this journey is continued. Thank you so much for your support, and I welcome all the FOGSI representatives, Dr. Sneha and Beenal. मैम आप सबको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हमारा, क्योंकि आपने जो स्ट्रेंथन किया है इस पार्टनरशिप को, वो बहुत ही मीनिंगफुल है, जैसे डॉक्टर टैंक ने भी बोला. तो इसको हम आगे लेके जाएंगे. मुझे लगता है कि अब इसके बाद ही अनएंडिंग पार्टनरशिप होगी. जो लोग ज्वाइन कर सकें आज, उनको भी आई वेलकम यू ऑल. From your busy time, I can understand an obstetrician's time is very unpredictable. So, but you have taken your time and come to this webinar. So I'll just quickly say, I will not go into the details of why, which Dr. Beenal has very nicely explained, but I want to go into this, relate to what Jinsi was saying. The problem lies in that several studies in the past few years, we have seen that they reveal a gap, which that feeding, we don't talk about feeding of babies during the period it needs to be talked, which is the pregnancy. When women have time to think, if they want to make a decision this way or that way, it doesn't matter. We need to be, what I want to emphasize here, that this, I'm referring to a World Bank study done in 2019 in 3 countries, which found in Indian part, we found only 1 out of 153 women who were interviewed was talked about breastfeeding or any other feeding method during pregnancy. So I will not go into detail, but we just did a very quick survey. I'll share the findings in the next slide with in the last week, in this week rather than last week. Why we're doing it? We also know that it works. If we talk to women and their husbands during pregnancy, it works. It actually doubles up early breastfeeding rates, actually. We did a research, I'm sharing a research find, which we did in Medical College, Aligarh. So, and then there is some obligation on us as Indian citizens. That national program by Government of India recommends a formal session. The World Health Organization also recommends a formal session during pregnancy to be able to, in one of these 10 steps, which Beenal showed, that there are 10 steps. So this is only, today we are talking about one, but I assure all of you, the audience and the panelists today, that within a month or two, we are going to bring you the baby-friendly hospital initiative back on the platform. We are going to start assessment of hospitals, certify them, and given them a plaque of baby-friendly, not baby-friendly, but breastfeeding-friendly hospitals, which implement 10 steps. Now, this small survey which we did, and very quickly 98 women responded to it. Those who had young babies, almost all babies were less than 1 year. And we found that almost 2/3 said they did not have any talk about feeding of babies during pregnancy. And I'm a bit surprised, I didn't know that it's that high. But 3/4 of mothers said that they had a feeding problem immediately after birth, which was minor to major, including like sore nipples or engorgement. But these are little but very painful problems that they can switch off. One has to shift to other modes of feeding because of these problems. In case there is nobody to help, it's very hard to get back to breastfeeding sometimes. And then there's another positive thing which happened. We asked a question to these mothers. If it was discussed during pregnancy, what do they feel? And 98% felt that if it was discussed during pregnancy, it would have certainly benefited them. So our assumption which goes with this is that's the reason that we are bringing and launching this to obstetricians today. The initiative called I Decide, which means we are giving power and right to women to decide and inform us that we want to do this and we want. So this is a 3-step process which I'll share with you a little later in the web platform. Incidentally, it's not an application of the phone, but it is a web platform which works very well on the phone as an application, but it's not an application. So you have to go to website idecide.org.in. So what we do is, I'll just show you also on the web platform. So the step 1 of empowerment. So we believe that these 3 things will empower women to take these to the next level. So first step is giving full knowledge during pregnancy, which I'll share how we do it through the video modules, and also an access to counselors if needed. Second step is that we document a decision. The platform has a space where women can document their decision that I want to do this way. Thirdly, it also provides a platform where pregnant women or their husbands, they can inform the concerned doctor where they're going to deliver, that this is my decision and I want to do this. Please give me the following services for what is needed. So I'll stop here, and Nupur, can you show the website first, and then I can go to the, yeah. Nupur muted.
Okay, hello. Yashika, can you help me with opening the website, because I've joined through my phone. I lost my Wi-Fi connection. So I think sharing the website would be a bit difficult from here.
Okay, let
so
me
if you can share the open the website and share.
When I open, actually I have signed on already, so it just goes into the next step. Yashika, if you can share quickly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Please open and share your screen.
Just give me a second.
Yes.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's opening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, can you go full screen and show the contents, please?
Yes, sir.
I'll speak on the. Yeah, these are the, can you go up?
Yes.
Show the home page. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
This is the website where one can sign in, sign up, and later on sign in. And in the about section, yeah, we have all about it, why we are doing it, and you don't need to open, just show the contents, please.
Okay, sir.
So we have rationale, what are the objectives about the organization, the core team behind it, and the National Advisory Board, state advisors, resources, and we are going to invite the partners will be listed here. So this is the registration fee is the next. I'll not go in. So partner with us. Can you just show this? Partner with us is a form for if the obstetricians individually anywhere in the country can join us as partner. So we can then, Rita will make a presentation next. How do we go about it? These are testimonials where people can write about it, and this will appear on the website about the feedback. And then there is a section of FAQs, frequently asked questions, and you can also write to us on the contact. So yeah, that's okay. And can you show down what do you have on the website? Yeah, scroll it. So we have all the 2 videos which Nupur showed you in the beginning. They are right on the website. They will also be put on the website for downloading for the partners, and they can be used in their respective. So we have the brochures in Hindi and English. And we are going to put the posters also here in Hindi and English, both. Yeah, thanks, Yashika. Yeah, I'll now open up the next steps. Yeah. Okay, so once you sign up, what happens is then you are asked to make a payment, and I will not go into those steps now. I have already done that. And when you make a payment, it asks for either a verification from the email or a verification from an OTP on your phone. So once you make a payment, the person who, I mean, it asks you about, when you register, it asks you about whether you are a to-be mom or a to-be dad, and then that information goes through the person who registers. So the step one of information is like this. So first of all, on the opening page is the video testimonial video, which Nupur shared in the beginning. I can just show you once again how it works.
We never say it out loud, but being a mother is scary. Eat this, not that. Why you are doing this, not that. So many opinions, so many suggestions. We all want best for them. But who gets to decide what is best for our child? Well, for my baby, I decide. This new portal by BPNI keeps me informed and up to date with everything that I need to know about feeding my baby. When to start feeding, how to hold my baby, and so much more. All the information at one place to know how to feed my child. And when I know the correct scientific information, then I have the power to make the best decision for my child. Because for my baby, I decide.
So once you go through, it goes into the next, which starts with the modules. So first module is on benefits of breastfeeding. I will not play all the modules here. These are like this, that these are 2-minute modules, which give you, very quick information.
Chances are you have heard about the significance of breastfeeding.
Yeah, I'll not go into detail. I'll go into the next. So it's early initiation of breastfeeding. It talks about skin to skin contact. Again, a 2.2 minutes. Yeah, it's that. And then we go to the next one. It describes how to position and attachment, including in cesarean section and normal deliveries. Again, 2.4 minutes. So,
breastfeeding is the most natural food for your baby.
So I will not play all the videos here. They are available. And then we have safety and preparation. I've just wanted to re-emphasize with all the panelists and the people who have joined as partners from Foxy, that we are talking here about if a woman chooses to give formula or artificial or mixed feeding, onus lies on us to keep it safe. So that is the importance of including this particular video. Some people have asked, you don't need to include this because you just fix on breastfeeding. But BPNI strongly believes that a woman probably or a family needs 10 times more support who have chosen to give other feeding. The next is expression of breast milk, how it is expressed. So these videos provide wonderful information which is required, and one can take a call on that. And more than that, it has a reading material for parents in 10 languages, and one can, Hindi, Gujarati, Punjabi, Kannada, Assami, Odia, Telugu, Bengali, and Marathi. So one can download any material and, keep it with them. That probably, you can read it here also, and you can download it also. Okay, and going back. Oh, it's gone all the time back. Sorry about this. I don't know why it went back. So this is the step 2. Step 2 of empowerment. The first is the knowledge which is gained on this platform, which was step 1, 5 videos or reading material. We are going to add another video very soon. And we are also going to add Hindi videos very soon. And they are being dubbed into Hindi also. So slowly we will see the response which language needs. So what happens here at this step, one has to take a decision between breastfeeding or artificial feeding or mixed feeding. Most women are going to choose breastfeeding. We know we are country culturally in favor of breastfeeding, no doubt. But anybody who chooses this, as I said earlier, needs more support. So one can choose anything. Say, for example, if I choose mixed feeding, I go next. Now what? So there is a conveying message that you have made your decision to mix feed. So you can download your certificate here. Like this. So in your name, you can download your certificate. So I filled my name here, signed up in my name. So you get a certificate that I'm well informed and decided to give mixed feeding safely to my newborn after birth. And after that, we come to, third empowerment step, which is the writing to the doctor. Say you write to the doctor, you need an email of that doctor. You want to CC anybody, say info@idecide.org.in. You can copy us or copy your friend or family. So that's how. So about my decision to feed my baby, the subject line. Here there is a content of the mail in which we advise that you need to, edit it in that sense, dear Dr. Gupta. So you do that, and you also, so we give respectfully, we ask the doctor to keep my baby on my bed, to have someone to support skin-to-skin contact, to support if there is a cesarean section, demonstration of expression of breast milk, facility for safe preparation and storage of formula, practical demonstration on how to feed with a cup. So these are the requirements a mother needs to know about who has chosen to give artificial feeding or mixed feeding. So similarly for breastfeeding, it will come as skin-to-skin contact, somebody to support her. So these 2 points are not there in that letter. So one can go in that sense that, and then one has to write a name from here, the email, and when you go to next, this email is sent. It's okay. In the end, we ask about the expected date of delivery and say 27 March. So it's third trimester. So why we are asking is that we might like to follow up with them about their decision, whether they were able to, maintain their decision or was there a problem. So in case there is some problem or if they have any doubts, we have a phone number and email they can write, or they can connect with a lactation counselor, which are trained and authorized by BPNI. So if they do a yes or no, so that will take them to that. So if they do yes, they can choose a state, and then within that state, the authorized counselors will appear. So they can connect with the counselor and discuss. Now, the last step is that we ask a small question: how did you reach us? So whether an obstetrician, nurse, pediatrician. So an obstetrician, it's more like to collect data what are the routes, so that we can help, that can help us in reaching out to that route. So here we also provide a toll-free helpline given accessed by the IIT Mumbai, who have prepared this in their mother and child nutrition helpline program, in which multi-language counselors are available. For access to authorized counselors, when women sign up, they can also download the, so the app of BPNI is this called Stanpan Suraksha mobile app. Here the authorized counselors are available, or one can report if somebody is violating IMS. So this app can be downloaded here and one can directly access a counselor from the app also. So this is how these three empowerment steps are completed. And in the end, it goes to, this is the like profile or a dashboard for individuals who sign up to it. And one can update the profile, choice. You can also download the email which you wrote to your doctor here and share it. You can, keep this email for your records, and like certificate also, you can save it also, you can share it also. Yeah. You can save it in your inbox and then from there you can share it. So on the dashboard, we also have provision like you want to go back to modules, you want to listen, you can go again. Certificate, counselor access, share your feedback or refer a friend. Refer a friend was there in the last section also. It works like this. If you write refer a friend, so you can refer through Twitter, Facebook, or WhatsApp. So it just goes like this. Okay, I'll need to go to another method.
You can do it on Twitter, sir. It will show the message.
Okay, how do
you can go back?
Okay, right. So this is a message, it goes out that I've successfully decided on how to feed my baby with iDecide. You can do it too. Check out. So it refers like this. So it goes into sheets. There are other methods also. LinkedIn, Telegram, Twitter, email. You can write an email also. So this is share your feedback. Here it's very simple. You write a subject line, ABC, and you write a message, whatever message you write, and you send it to us. We look at it and then we post it into the testimonials. So this goes to the staff, and the staff looks at it to avoid any junks, and it goes to the. So that's how it the portal functions, and one can log out from here. You can go into your history, change your password, go back to your dashboard. But the access to the one-time payment and access to other things like making a decision and all that is one time only. Right? And we are unable to provide that. The software doesn't help us in doing that time and again, because it just creates unnecessary security problems and all. But rest everything, the materials are available. Whenever a person who has signed up wants to go back to her or his dashboard, there is a possibility you can go back. So I'm logging out now, and if there will be any questions, I will be happy to pick up. Thanks a lot for your attention.
Thank you, Arunji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Excellent. I think this initiative, it really, calls for an applause. It's a very, very, very important one, and that it will percolate and become a pan-India movement, I'm sure, with the way you have organized it. Really, very nice, very impressive, and very, very going to be very useful as well. Very useful as well.
Thank you very much, and I wish what you said, all your words are 10 times more multiplied, and it will all depend on colleagues in obstetrics, because they are going to introduce this to pregnant women or their husbands. So there's no other way to ask for us actually to be practical, that we can reach out to them directly. Only way is that either do a marketing, which is very expensive and we can't afford that. And we kept the price so low, it's probably going to be a no profit, no loss for us situation. So
all of us will try. All of us.
Thank you very much for your.
And I think, you know, this baby friendly initiative must be given a big push. That one day we will be able to, you know, pass on the message to a lot of obstetricians and the staff within the hospital.
Yeah, I will, once we do that, we will reach out to you once again in that sense. Yeah, we will, that's a comprehensive program of assessment and external assessment, verification and all. So it requires a lot of time.
I think maybe you can talk to Dr. Alpesh in various activities of FOGSI. Somewhere a small presentation is made. So it will be, you know, it's finally going to be word of mouth in between obstetricians also.
I agree with you totally.
So I think it should be, maybe you can talk to Dr. Alpesh. I met him at Nagpur some months back. And Dr. Tank, I think I met at Yavatmal somewhere. We were speakers somewhere. And there it was award, Dr. Alpesh was the one who gave that award to me. So that's how I met him there. But we will, all of us will try, sure. Thank you. We can move further?
Yes,
yes, ma'am.
I think we can go on to
it's already 10 past, it's only 4, how many? 17 minutes past 4 already.
Yes, so we have Dr. Rita Gupta's presentation now. She's going to present on countrywide expansion of I Decide. Ma'am, over to you. You have 10 minutes. Rita, ma'am?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
My friends, my chairs, Dr. Shakuntala and Dr. Basu. And a very good evening to all my obstetrician friends in the audience. So you have seen the presentation, demonstration of I Decide, wonderful by Dr. Arun Gupta. But my presentation is how we are going to take it countrywide. That is how we are going to take it countrywide. That is my presentation today. So I'm sharing my screen.
Can you see the slides?
Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is my presentation. And I feel very happy to share with you all that the objective of our plan is to reach out to at least 1 million urban pregnant women and their husbands over a decade. That is the minimum we plan to achieve. But how do we achieve this?
Ma'am, can you do a slideshow? We can see a folder. We cannot see the slideshow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you can click on the slideshow.
No. Is it okay now?
It's still the same. They might be, yeah, you can reshare it.
Is that okay?
Yes.
So how we are going to achieve our target? That is going to be through continued partnership with FOGSI under the leadership of National Advisory Board, because FOGSI, as we say, FOGSI is the most important link in our implementation of the plan. And through FOGSI, we are going to organize webinars in the cities, in the states, and we will introduce iDecide through webinars. And we will reach out to Foxy societies. Through the Foxy, we will reach out to Foxy societies and we will organize webinars through them and introduce iDecide. And through these webinars, we will try to mobilize partnerships with the obstetricians. So we will be stronger together when we work with Foxy. They say iDecide is a trusted source. This is a platform for knowledge and decision making, as Dr. Gupta has already explained to you. And there will be access to authorized lactational counselors also through the iDecide. And we will also try to start short online courses for the staff to assist the mothers. And there will be a free helpline on the iDecide platform. So we, as they say, ek akela or do 11. So when Foxy and BPNI work together, I think we will work like 11 people and we will be stronger and to take it further. So next question is, what will be the partners' privileges? The partners will get posters in Hindi and English, which they can display in their OPDs or waiting areas. And the 2 videos which you have already seen, the introductory video and the testimonial video, they can run in their clinics or hospitals if they have AV systems. And we will also give YouTube link to share and introduce to pregnant women and their husbands. So posters I was talking will be like this. These are 2 Hindi posters. हम आपको वो बताएंगे जो कोई और नहीं बताता. क्या आपने फैसला कर लिया अपने नवजात शिशु को क्या पिलाओगे? These are the examples of 2 Hindi posters and these are 2 English posters. Good news. Think what your baby would drink and have you decided how to feed your newborn? These are the 2 examples each of English and Hindi. These can be displayed in the obstetricians waiting areas. And these are the 2 videos as you have seen already. So then what will be the benefits to the obstetricians? Why should they join? Because it benefits them in many ways. First of all, we all know when obstetricians are very busy people and very unpredictable timings. So it saves their time. When their pregnant moms link on to iDecide, so they get all the information from there. They don't have to spend time explaining to them. And it also serves to ensure that discussion on feeding of babies is held during pregnancy itself, benefiting mothers and babies both. As we have seen that this is very, very important that we talk to them during pregnancy. And it also improves quality of care and your image in the community because you will be known as a caring obstetrician. And when we are talking of the partnerships, when we log in on the homepage of iDecide, it shows here, partner with us. When you link there, a form will open like this. And you fill the form, name, everything, whatever is given here, and you submit it, it will reach our backhand team. So it will reach us automatically. And then a certificate will be generated like, we will generate a certificate like this. Like this is a certificate for a hospital, is an institution partner. There will be a logo of iDecide and logo of the hospital. And this certificate can again be displayed in your waiting areas or in your clinics. And if suppose one is an individual, so individual's name will be here as and is a partner, not an institutional partner, is a partner. And their logo, if one wants to give, can be here. So for organizing webinars like like Dr. Basu was going, it goes pan-India. That is exactly our vision. We want to go pan-India and we will be contacting Foxy societies. But in case anybody wants to contact us directly, please one can contact us at this number on WhatsApp and email 9911588576 and email us at info@idecide.org.in, and we will try to get back as soon as possible. And regarding the webinar, I also want to announce that on 19th, we are again having a webinar for pregnant mothers, other doctors, our BPNI members, national trainers, or anybody who wants to, mainly for pregnant women. And please, I would request my friends here that please try to mobilize as many moms as possible to attend the webinar. So we have to introduce this iDecide initiative to as many mothers, pregnant mothers as possible. And through my friends, obstetrician friends, please try to do it. Thank you so much. And thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you, Rita ji. Thank you so much. It was like you tried to clear how you're going to percolate it further. Thank you. Nupur ji.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Rita, ma'am. I missed an information. I'm so sorry for that. I just would like to share that Rita, ma'am, is going to be coordinating this program for us. And she is one of the founder members and a national trainer also. And she is also practicing as a lactation consultant with us. Okay, so moving on to the next agenda of this program, of this webinar, we have the questions and answers. So we have very few questions here. There was one question about how we can do breastfeeding when a retro therapy is on, but I think the question was retracted. And there was a question about the breastfeeding, the BPNI certificate course. I have already answered that. And some people have conveyed to share the recording of the session, which we will. So I'm opening the house for some question answers. If anybody wants to ask a question, you can ask to the panelists here in the chat box, or you can share it in the question answer box. We're happy to answer the questions. Okay, there are not much questions actually.
We can move it.
Yes. Okay. I don't see any raised hands also from the attendees, so I'll move ahead with the program. Okay. Okay, so next on the agenda, we have closing remarks by Dr. Sneha Buhar, Chair, Breastfeeding Committee, FOGSI. Dr. Sneha is the chairperson on Study on Female Breast Committee, FOGSI 2019-21 to 2021. She's a practicing obstetrician, gynecologist, and infertilologist with 24 years of experience from Maharashtra. She's a recipient of Champions of FOGSI Awards 2019 and Dr. Anandibai Joshi Award for Outstanding Female Doctor by State Government of Maharashtra. Over to you, ma'am. Dr. Sneha Buhar.
Thank you so much, Nupur, for that kind introduction. At the outset, I would like to thank Dr. Arun Gupta and the entire team BPNI for inviting me here and making me the part of this program. Thank you, respected Madam Chabra and Madam S.N. Basu. Thank dignitaries, and a very good evening to all of you. It's indeed a proud privilege for me for being it's my passion to work for this cause. And in spite of being a hardcore obstetrician, rather, though I am myself practicing breastfeeding on priority, I want to promote this to all the obstetricians across India. And that's the very reason I have come into organization. That is what I want to share with you all. Breastfeeding, as you all agree to me, that it's not only beneficial to the baby and the mother and the family and the nation, but if we don't breastfeed, there are so many issues, including sudden infant death syndrome and lymphomas and leukemias, and it costs the country to a toll of 900 crores if not done exclusive breastfeeding. So I think there is every reason that we promote breastfeeding, and that too according to recommendation, initiation as early as possible, right from immediately after cutting the cord, whether it is a vaginal or a cesarean delivery, with good or proper techniques of breastfeeding, with proper latch. And of course, it has to be continued as exclusive breastfeeding, not even watcher. That should be the message. It has to be very frequent and complete unrestricted feeding. It has to be exclusive breastfeeding for first 6 months and should be continued 2 years and beyond with complementary feed. So I think the message has to be very, very clear. And that's the very reason all of us, obstetrician and pediatrician, should come together for this cause. We should, I think, we should act at 3 levels. We have to sensitize our obstetricians as well as pediatricians regarding this exclusive breastfeeding with proper latch. And of course, we have to discourage for the use of breastfeed substitutes. That is very important. I think that's a major hurdle in the initiation and maintenance of the exclusive breastfeeding. We should train our health workers. I think there was one session yesterday, just to share with you, by Alive and Thrive. And there was this issue of sensitizing, or rather involving the family and specifically the father of the baby into these sessions. So we must conduct antenatal session to train, educate not only the pregnant woman, but also the family and specifically the father, who is going to be the part of it, very important part for that matter. And of course, third, we have to make general public awareness as such. So at FOGSI level, we are working as a committee. We are doing all these 3 things, and we are conducting multiple webinars every monthly in the different zones, different societies. We are stressing the importance of breastfeeding. We are sensitizing our obstetrician. Even I myself am very surprised to know that even the obstetrician is okay with, first day the baby feed is not sufficient, and maybe to start with we can give some formula feed. That is how the concepts are. We really need to demystify all these concepts, and that is going to take us a long way, I think. Obstetrician and pediatrician, that we have to train them, we have to educate them, revisit the subject once again. Then, of course, we concentrate on the health workers. We train them with the proper techniques of breastfeeding, how frequently, what is the proper latch, and all these things we have to train them with to support the patient, the pregnant woman or the lactating woman. And of course, the family members also we have to train. We have to make a general public awareness regarding breastfeeding. We have to tell them that it is not only helpful, but if you don't breastfeed, what are the problems? That is what the importance, if they come to know, they will, I'm sure they're going to really carry forward this message to many of these. And that's the reason we are organizing multiple public awareness programs. We are organizing training programs for the health workers. Recently, this year, we have taken up many UNICEF facilities as well, along with the FOGSI and Government of India. We are training the facilities of UNICEF across India, all the 256 facilities. And we are having multiple webinars with them as well. So I think I have a presentation for this, just to say, if you allow me, if somebody can share for me. I think Yashika Joshi, she was supposed to share it for me. So if you have, I can just quickly run over. Yeah, you can just quickly you can just quickly fast forward. I will just try and show you. Make it fast. Next slide, please. This is just my committee and the hello, Yashika, can you please just
yes,
make it?
Yes, I'm doing.
Next.
Just give me a second. My computer, there is some problem in my computer. Just give me a second.
Dr. Alpesh Gandhi, President Foxy, and Dr. Jaideep Chang, they are very, very instrumental supporting our committee a lot and participating each and every activity. Or yeah, just say next, please. I have various programs since 2019 when I became the chairperson of this committee. We have this, make it slideshow. And these are the various activities we have taken in 2019. Various CMEs at Nagpur, Nagpur, Yavatmal, and a huge conference called Lactacon, which was along with the pediatrician, obstetrician, and lactation consultant at Pune. And the attendance was more than 500. So it was a very, very successful conference. Then we had multiple CMEs. In 2020, initially we had an ICOG certification course for the obstetrician. And let me share with you, 1800 was the registration for the obstetrician who got certified. We had a 3-day long program for breastfeeding certification. And it was a wonderful program, participated by a large number of faculties. Then, of course, the breastfeeding week we celebrate in a big way. It was, of course, virtual and multiple programs. I'm showing these activities only where I was personally involved. There are 40 members from my committee across India, and they are doing their activities in their own regions. These are the national programs only I'm sharing with you. So multiple programs were conducted across India during this week, 2019 as well as 2020. And this year, 2020, one of the days we had breastfeeding promotion program on the iMoms app, where there were 60,000 viewers. So women who were breastfeeding, they got the large number of women. We could train them. Actually, we could interact them. We could make demonstrations, and we could teach them the importance as well as the technique of breastfeeding. So I think at all 3 levels, Foxy is trying its best. Me as committee chairperson of breast committee, we are trying and I think can join hands and let's just take this partnership ahead to make it a grand success. Thank you so much once again, Dr. Arun Gupta and the entire team for inviting me here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sneha ji. Thank you, Sneha ji. Thank you so much for sharing that you are doing a lot already. Nupur, are we closing now?
Thank you, madam.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sneha. That was very, detailed, and Foxy is already doing a lot of work. And when the BPNI and Foxy and I decide join hands, I'm sure there'll be no stopping. And soon it will become a national movement. Thank you very much, Dr. Sneha. You've done a lot of work on it.
Nupur?
Nupur?
Hello, Nupur? Hello, Nupur?
I think her internet
some network issues
probably.
Yeah, but you have your last word, Dr. Chabda and Dr. Basu, as the closing, and we will close it.
It was wonderfully planned and wonderfully done. The only thing I would like to say is that we have to find all possible means, because I could see the number of obstetricians was because of, I told you one reason was another program is going on about postpartum catastrophes in labor, actually, main thirst on postpartum hemorrhage. So that's going on. It will last till 6:30 today.
I understand.
So that's how, unfortunately, this happened. So all of us will try to find our own means. And of course, I'm very sure you will find many more means so that it goes down. As she said, it is to be revisited. Sneha used the right word, revisited. When we started the movement for a decade or so, it was really going on very well. Then somehow last 2 decades, things have gone down, and her word was very right, revisit. So that's how all obstetricians have to revisit. And I must add even pediatricians, because unfortunately for me, I had to tell my patient that this is my child and I will decide. You will not go. I said today, one woman said that they are saying that from NICU the baby will go. I said, tell them that I am not going to take the baby. I'll keep the baby here. I teach my patients. So when all of us obstetricians decide, then pediatricians also have to be, as she said, sometimes, okay, mother ka milk nahi aa raha, to koi baat nahi, hum tin ka de dete hain. So that has to stop. Mother has to be encouraged by pediatricians and obstetricians must encourage during pregnancy. And pediatricians' role comes as the baby is out. I will say before the baby is out. So in labor itself, even the pediatricians can join the team, and then only we will go. And I'm sure this I Decide movement will help in a lot in this movement. Thank you so much, and all our best wishes.
Yes, I totally echo Dr. Shakuntala's sentiments and her wishes. She has put it very succinctly. And I'm sure we have worked together in the past, and I have no doubt about it that Dr. Arun Gupta and Dr. Rita Gupta and everybody else with their team spirit will take this forward, and it will be, spread pan-India. And all the mothers and the generations of tomorrow are going to benefit. We really need to do so. I think, again, congratulations. You really deserve a round of applause. Here, I suppose we'll just have to stop at saying that we deserve a round of applause. And we hope to keep meeting each other and, take this forward. Dr. Kesavulu is also there, Dr. Sneha, and all the others who have logged in. So I think congratulations to all of you. And
thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Thank you, everybody. And just allow me a minute to thank you all formally to close this session, especially to Dr. Chabra and Dr. S.N. Basu. Dr. Tank had to leave for some urgent work. And I thank all the Foxy people, and please convey to Dr. Tank and Dr. Alpesh Gandhi on behalf of BPNI how much value we partnership between BPNI and Foxy, which has been going on, but in this particular initiative, which is so targeted to pregnant women, actually. So it's just one of the 10 steps of successful breastfeeding, which is the first step, actually. And that we would certainly like to go to, as Rita has explained, we will like to go to the interested obstetricians first, that we organize similar webinars for every society. That's our aim. It might take a year or more than a year or 2 even, but we will not stop it there. So the aim is that we are in touch with a few states already. They have shown interest. And those after this webinar, we will try to contact those who have attended today. If they are interested, and out of the people who are like Dr. Basu or Dr. Chabda or Dr. Sneha and Dr. Beenal, in their areas, if we can organize webinars subsequently from next month onward. So it should be an hour. BPNI will do the organization part, and the local societies can chair those sessions. And we can have a national person from you to speak on this. So not that every month you need to come and speak, but we do want to decentralize this in that sense. So that probably will help to reach out to maximum number of people in the obstetric society. So with those words, I once again thank you all. And in case we will pick up the questions from the database, in case some of them remain unanswered, we'll try and get back to you on that sense. Okay. So thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Bye. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you all the attendees as well.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello. Okay.